Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Munatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
संकीर्तन की जय। So while Mukunda is setting up, we'll chant our Mangalasharan prayers and then we'll start the presentation. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Gurau Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhaevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nama om Vishnu padaya Krishna pristhaya bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum lamgayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Guru Dina Taranam. We welcome all of you, Hare Krishna, to our Saturday satsang program. And so the next part of the program is presentation, and after that the most awaited part of the program is prasadam. So we'll have that. So I'll try to quickly finish it so that there is less separation between us and prasadam. But it is said that the more you are separated, the more love is developed for that thing. So separation is good also. So today we are going to discuss about converting difficulty into opportunity. And as we know, difficulties are there in everybody's life, you know. So everybody, English, Hindi, how many people understand Hindi? Everybody understands. So I can mix little Hindi also, right? Okay. Okay. So I want to take the example of our founder, Acharya Srila Prabhupada. So he's called founder Acharya because he found us. You know, we were lost in this world full of problems, and he found us and took to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Giridhari so that we can be happy. So, very nice example from the life of Srila Prabhupada. He was a sadhu, you know, living in Vrindavan in the 1960s in the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. How many of you been to the Radha Damodar temple? Vrindavan? How many of you been to Vrindavan? Oh, nice. Okay. So there is a Radha Damodar temple where there is Samadhi of our Acharyas, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur as Push Samadhi, and, you know, Rupa Goswami, or 6 Goswamis who built these big temples. If you see the temple in Jaipur, Radha Govindev temple, that is built by one of our 6 Goswamis, and then Radha Madan Mohan temple. So a lot of contribution of our Goswamis in the making of these ancient temples in India. So he was living there very happily, he was writing the scriptures, he was taking prasadam, he was very happy there. And he had the order of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that you are a young, intelligent, learned man, why don't you spread this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and our scriptures in the Western world in English language? So he took that instruction as his life and soul, and it was with so much difficulty, he used to go to the steamship company to ask for a ticket. He didn't have money, obviously, no money, he was sadhu. He said, please, please, every day he would sit outside the Sindhia steamship company, and the owner was a lady, and she would say, Swamiji, you are too old and it's too cold in America, you will die. Why do you want to go to America? Because he was 70 years old that time. And Srila Prabhupada said, no, I have to go. And he kept insisting, and one day she gave him a ticket of a cargo ship, not even like a ship of passengers. It was cargo inside it, and just he was one of the passengers. And he got a ticket, and he boarded that Jaladuta at the King George dockyard in Calcutta with just 40 rupees, taking the instruction of his Guru Maharaj as his life and soul, and he boarded that ship. He had 2 heart attacks on that ship, He cooked his own food there. He celebrated Janmashtami and gave the prasadam to the captain of the ship. The captain of the ship was interviewed. He said, in my last 20 years of my career while driving this ship, the ocean has never been so quiet and silent. And when Srila Prabhupada got heart attack, he saw Krishna and the Dashavatara around the ship. And Krishna said, don't worry, I am taking you in my lap to America. So much of difficulty. He had heart attack and so many other health problems like seasickness. How many of you have been to the ship in a cruise? Have you faced seasickness? Imagine 35 days he was on the ship. Such a big difficulty. He had no place to stay when he came out. He was looking left and right. He didn't know where to go. So much difficulty. And he established the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. And he circled around the earth in 12 years, 12 times, in 10 years. Yeah, and established more than 108 temples all over the world. So apparently so much difficulty he had, but he converted that into a great opportunity. He had no affluence, no money, nothing. But because of Krishna's grace, because of taking shelter of Sri Krishna, he was able to achieve such a big feat. Right now we have around 800 temples all over the world. So Srila Prabhupada is a very good example of determination, enthusiasm, and sincerity for all of us, that although we may not have, a lot of things in life, we may be facing challenges, but still we have that one thing, all of us have something special which we can achieve. Which means we should never be discouraged, we should always be encouraged in whatever situations are there in life. Next, Mukunda, yeah. So, very nice example of a butterfly. So, actually I made this slide based on recommendation from Mukunda only because he studied about butterflies in his school. So, he only proposed this one. So, I was asking him, how is the life cycle of a butterfly? So it all starts with what is first one? First thing? Second? Caterpillar. Third? Pupa. And fourth is? So there is something special that happens on the third stage. That is at the pupa stage. Can anyone explain what happens between pupa to butterfly? Huh?
Goes in cocoon.
Yes, goes in cocoon. And how does it come? Are you from biological background? Biology background? Okay. How does it converts from a pupa to a butterfly? What does it do? Yes, Siddhant. Metamorphosize. Can you explain in little language I can understand? It's too complicated for me. Yes, Mukunda.
So what really happens inside its inside its metamorphosis? What happens is after
Yes. It
It
eats.
sticks on a leaf or a branch.
Yes, it sticks on a leaf and a branch.
Forms a J shape.
Forms a J shape. Okay.
And then after days, and then the caterpillar is turning into a butterfly.
Yes.
And
So-
then outside shell forms.
Correct.
Which is called a pupa.
So basically,
And
it.
then the butterfly form is forming inside it.
Very good. Thank you, Mukund. That was very. You get 100 out of 100 marks for that long explanation. So basically, it comes out the pupa. Suppose you have a blade and you cut that pupa so that you are too compassionate. You are thinking, oh, the butterfly should come out. It's so much, intact inside the whatever the covering is. Let me just cut it with the blade and let the butterfly come out. Do you think that's a good idea? No. Why? Pain. Actually, you are trying to relieve it of the pain by cutting it out. Huh? It is not mature enough. Yes. If you cut it out, what will happen? The butterfly will not be so strong. It's not also mature, right? That's the same thing. So the wings will not be strong enough to fly. Right? So one another example is of a giraffe. When a giraffe's baby is born, and as soon as the she giraffe delivers a baby, it falls on the ground. And as soon as it falls on the ground, the giraffe mother starts kicking the baby. Can anyone tell why does it start kicking the baby? Except you two. Yeah. Get up, yes. But why does it want the baby to get up? Protect itself from what? Predators, yes. Because the lion and the other predators can smell the fresh flesh of the born baby. And as soon as they smell it, they run towards the smell. Because the sense of smell is very strong for these predators. And in order to protect the baby, the mother kicks the baby. Get up, get up, get up. Be ready to fight the world. Right? Imagine the mother is thinking, oh, everything is okay. I will take care of you. Don't worry. The lion will come and eat it. Finished. Right? So apparently it's such a difficult situation. But the difficulty is converted to opportunity, right? It doesn't have to take, lessons to run or walk. Immediately starts running. Next. So, as we know that the nature of the Atma, the soul, just like Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha. Sat, it is eternal. Chit, full of knowledge. Ananda, full of bliss. And we are part and parcel of Krishna, just like we have the Pacific Ocean. Imagine like Krishna. And we are, say, drops. We have the same quality but different quantity. We are the drops. Atma and Paramatma, right? That is the philosophy that we have. And then what happens is, the nature of the soul is also to be in Anand, to always be happy. But are we happy? No. There are so many challenges in this world. What kind of challenges do we have? Next slide. We have Adhyatmic challenges. Adhyatmic, those miseries which arise from the mind and the body. Nowadays there are more problems with the mind than the body. Right? And then Adhibhautik, those miseries inflicted by other living beings. Whether it's a mosquito who killed the great warriors of the world with malaria, or it's, big predators. It can be anyone. Or other people in warfare, in the war field. Third is Adidevik. Adidevik is from natural calamities which we have no control. Right? We are seeing so much floods in India right now, correct? Everywhere it's over flooded. That's a different thing. But here also you have forest fires. You have floods in Florida, tornadoes, hurricanes. So that is Adidevik. So, but we are always struggled by these three things. And then 3 is not enough. 4 more things are there. Janma, birth. Mrityu, which is death. Jara, old age. Vyadhi, disease. So these are the 7 things that are constantly trying to hamper our happiness, trying to hamper our well-being, right? All these things keep coming to us. But we want to become happy, just like the nature of the soul. It is always to be happy. Yes, next. Okay, no, do the next. Yeah, skip this, yeah. So, another example I want to give of difficult situation is, just like you have charcoal or carbon, how is carbon converted to diamond? Can anyone tell? Pressure, right? So there is a pressure of about 725,000 pounds per square inch. If you see the distance between the atoms of a diamond and that of a charcoal or carbon is very different. The atoms of carbon are very close to each other. It is one of the hardest substance known, correct? And it undergoes a lot of pressure and lot of temperature. Next. So the lesson is, although it has so much difficulty, it takes that opportunity and grows a carbon, black carbon, which is useless and which is sold for like few dollars a pound, converts into a diamond, which is like thousands of dollars for, even ounces. Yes. So next example I want to give of converting a difficulty into opportunity is from American fighter plane, fighter jet person. His name is Butch O'Hare. So basically he was fighting in World War II in 1942. He took off the ship from the USS Lexington. It's a ship, and he took off from there. And when he was in the air, he was notified by the air control system that you have run out of fuel. Your fuel is over, so you should come back. But he said, no, I cannot come back because I am seeing a lot of enemy planes around me. Japanese were there. So he said, I am fighting with them. I cannot come back. He said, okay. And then he started shooting all these, jets with his bullets. And he knocked off like 4 or 5 of them with his bullets. And then he ran out of the bullets. And then he started knocking off the other fighter jets with his wings. And he knocked off few of the jets. And then the remaining, so this person looks like he's mad. And they ran away. They went back. He said, I cannot come back to the control center because I'm fighting, because if I let them come back, they will destroy the whole USS Lexington ship, on which there are thousands of people. It would be a big loss to America. Let's continue next. So this is the USS Lexington ship. As you can see, it has a lot of fighter jets on it and a lot of people there. Next, Nikunda. So as you can see how he shot down the bombers, which were he was knocking off the winds, knocking off all the wings. So just to do this, and when he came back successfully, he was awarded the highest presidential medal award. So apparently it was a difficult situation, but he converted into a nice opportunity. Yes.
And Chicago's airport is named after.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Chicago's airport name is what? O'Hare. It's named after him. And if you want to find more about his past, then you can find about his father. His name was Easy Eddie. He was an attorney, and he was, favoring some of the mafia gang in Chicago, Al Capone and all. And just to give an example to his son, he actually went to the jail, gave evidence, and he was shot dead. So anyways, that's a long story, so you can read about it. So next I want to give of converting difficulty into opportunity is from Ramayana. Jai Shri Ram. So as we all know, that Vibhishan was very ethical, right? Even though he was a Rakshas, he was brother of Ravan. But when there was an assembly of Ravan and all his brothers, Kumbhakarna, and all Meghnath, then he said to Ravan, my dear Ravan, this is not correct. You have kidnapped Mother Sita. That is against the principles of Dharma. You kidnapped Mother Sita when her husband was not there. If you are a true Kshatriya, you have to fight Mother Sita and bring her back. This is cheating. You disguised as a sannyasi and then you kidnapped Mother Sita. You should return back Mother Sita to Ram. And what did Ravan say? Ravan got very angry. And he said, no, I will not do that. So then Ravan said, although you are a member of my family, but you are taking the side of the enemy, I throw you out of my kingdom. You get out of here and you can take nothing with you. And Vibhishan, along with his 4 commanders, he left Lanka and he flew all over the ocean and he came to Ram's camp. You know, all these monkeys are looking at Vibhishan, and they are thinking that Ravan had sent a spy. Whose phone is this? आपका ही? Huh? So, and then all these monkeys were thinking probably Ravan has sent some spies, let us kill them. And then, you know, some monkey said, no, let them come, we'll talk to them. And once they came, so Vibhishan said, I want to talk to Lord Ram. So the monkeys went to Lord Ram came. And he proposed that, Lord Ram, we want to be on your side. We have left the side of our brother because he is unethical, he is against the dharma. So everybody was saying, no, although he is the brother of Ravan, he might have a fight. You know, he may be angry with him now, but later, when there is a situation whether to kill you or to kill Ravan, he will kill you, my dear Lord Ram. Because he is the blood of a Rakshasa. So everybody was saying, no, don't include him. Either he should be killed or he should be imprisoned at the least. But then Lord Ram looked at Hanumanji. And Hanumanji was, you know, in a very meditative pose, always remembering Lord Shri Ram. He said, my dear Lord Ram, when I was in Lanka, he was the only person, Vibhishan was the only person who told Ravan that Hanumanji should be released because he is a messenger. You know, messengers should not be killed. So Hanumanji said, we can take him on our side. And then he took him on the side. So although it was so much a difficulty for Vibhishan, but in the end what happened? Lord Ram actually took him on his side, you know, did his abhishek with the water of the ocean and coronated him as the king of Lanka. So when Ravan died, who was the king of Lanka? Vibhishan. It was such a difficult situation for him. He followed the path of honesty, integrity, truthfulness, and ultimately he was victorious. Mukunda, what are you doing? Okay, wait. Sometimes too much intelligence is also dangerous. Thank you, Mukunda. Yeah. So next example is of Pandavas in Mahabharata, right? They lost the match, gambling match, and they were sent to exile for 12 years and 1 year of incognito exile. It was such a difficult situation. They have to actually disguise themselves in the last 1 year. You know, Bhima had to become a cook. Arjuna had to become like a dance teacher, right? Nakul, Sahadev, they were taking care of the horses and the cows, right? Such a difficult situation. And finally, Krishna is their friend, taking instruction from Krishna. What happened? They regained the kingdom. And they were the kings of the world. Yudhishthir Maharaj was the king of the world. So apparently it was such a difficult situation. And they kept following on the right path with determination, with consistency. And they emerged as winners. So sometimes people say that, oh, we don't want stress, you know, let us just relax, we don't. But sometimes stress is good for us also, right? If it is taken in the right mindset and taken in the right degree. So just like this elastic, if you stretch it too much, what will happen? It will break. If you don't stretch it, what will happen? It is useless. But if you stretch it to the right amount, it can be used to make something nice. It will have that, you know, elastic energy, right? You have different kind of energy, elastic energy, potential, kinetic energies. So it can be used to make a gulel probably, right? So stress is good if utilized properly. Just like under the right pressure, you can turn coal into diamond. So sometimes stress is good, but to the right degree. Yes, Mukunda, next. So now I want to move to a phase here. So I've given a lot of examples. And although there may be problems in our life, but we should not just sit and meditate on the problems. If we keep meditating on the problems, then we will only, you know, correct. So like in Prahlad Maharaj says in Srimad Bhagavatam, that if you have a problem and you try to bring a solution to the problem, then the solution creates bigger problem than the original problem. Did you get it? So what is the way to solve a problem? Is through the perspective, getting knowledge from Krishna through the scriptures, through the devotees of Krishna. They will give a perspective where we can solve the problems nicely. So in the Bible also says, seek and ye shall find. So if we have a problem, we should try to seek the solution. What is the best solution? You know, if somebody has medical problems or health problems, yes, definitely we have to go to the best doctor. At the same time, take shelter of Krishna. Go to a doctor who can actually genuinely recommend us the good cure to our problems. And also take shelter of Krishna, because ultimately, you know, Krishna is the one who's inspiring the doctor, who will help us ultimately. And second, in Bhagavad Gita, the same principle is there. As we seek shelter, we find shelter. In that shelter, we can be instruments to give shelter. So there is a shloka in chapter 4:11, Tam Stitikshasva Bharata. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. So to the degree we seek shelter, to the degree we seek solution to the problem, to that degree Krishna will reciprocate. If we are in illusion, we are thinking, oh, I am very happy in my life, you know, I don't want anybody's help or everything is okay. Then Krishna will say, okay, continue. But if we understand that yes, you know, these are the problems, we take shelter of Krishna, then Krishna will reciprocate to us. So that is why it is said we have to pray every day. And therefore we chant this Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Take shelter of Krishna. At Krishna, you know, there are, I am engaged in so many things, but let me also engage in your service also. Yes, Mukunda, next. So although we are saying this world is full of problems, so you may say, okay, so what? This world is full of problems, so I can't be happy. It's not like that. We can be happy. Example is given when you drink too much of milk, then what happens? Pet kharab ho jata, indigestion. Right? But the cure of that indigestion is what? If you eat curd, and curd is also derived from milk. Correct? So although this world has so many problems, but we can actually use this same world to be very happy, to go across these problems and to realize our true potential and our true self. So we should be very encouraged, and we should always know that all of us are very special. Each one of us who is sitting here has that divine conscious force, that spark, that soul, Atma, which is part of Paramatma, part of Krishna. And that all of us have the right to be happy and to do the best that we can. You know, sometimes we may be discouraged by what others say to us. You know, sometimes we may be discouraged because of our own minds, of our own thinking. But we should know that, you know, all of us have potential to be happy and to be very much motivated. Just like if you have, say, 8,000 rupees, right, or dollars, and if you drop like $2 somewhere, would you throw away all the remaining $7,998? No. Same thing applies. In the morning, or somebody said something to you, something wrong, for 2 minutes. Would you waste your whole day? You won't, right? You should not. Because each and every moment of this life that we have been given is very, very precious. It's very sacred, very divine. So we should use it for our upliftment, for our happiness, and whatever you think, for serving Krishna, for achieving the goal of our life. So this is again the picture of, I was sharing the story of Srila Prabhupada in the beginning. So as you can see, Prabhupada is on the Jaladuta ship, and on the right you can see he is seeing Krishna when he had that heart attack. And you can see the captain of the ship. So there is a very nice verse in Bhagavad Gita. So please repeat after me. Dukkheshva anudvignamana Sukheshu vigataspraha Vitaraga bhaya krodha Sthita dhira munir uchyate. one who is not disturbed in mind even amidst the miseries or elated when there is happiness, and one who is free from attachment, fear and anger is called the stage of steady mind, right? So a person is not at all disturbed on the onslaughts of threefold miseries like we discussed, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik, because he accepts all miseries as the mercy of the Lord, thinking himself only worthy of more trouble due to his past misdeeds. And he sees that his misery by the grace of Lord are minimized to the lowest. So even though we have misery, we think, oh, by Krishna's grace it has been minimized. And when he is happy, he gives credit to the Lord, thinking himself unworthy of the happiness. He realizes that it is due to only the Lord's grace that he is in such a comfortable condition and able to render better service to the Lord. So here the quality of gratefulness is there, gratitude. We always look what we don't have, but we don't look what we have, right? Just like Gaur Gopal Prabhu gave example, when you are eating mango, तो दांत में एक रेशा फंस जाता है. So you are always constantly trying to pull that out of our teeth, right? So although there may be so many good things in our life, everything is going good, everything we have, but once one thing is not correct, we are always focused thinking about it, and and we lose whatever good we have because of that, because our whole attention is focused on that thing. Is that a good idea? And for the service of the Lord, that person is always daring and active and is not influenced by attachment or aversion. So that kind of person is called a sage of steady mind. And all these things are because of mind only, how we manage our mind. Too much happiness also, people don't know how to manage. And obviously people get disturbed when there is a lot of misery. Yes. So Rupa Goswami, one of our Goswamis, gives this very nice formula for success. He says, Utsaha nishchaya dhairyat, Utsaha nishchaya dhairyat, Tat karma pravartanat, Sangatyaga sato vritti, Shadbhidir bhakti prasidhyati. Utsaha means enthusiasm, Nishchayat, perseverance, right? Determination. And dhairya is patience. Tat karma pravartena. So if you do these duties, then, and what are the other things? Also the association of devotees, Sangha Tyaga Sato Vritti. So associate with people who can actually motivate you, who can give you the positive direction, and not those who pull you down. We should always associate people who inspire us, to grow in our life, in a profession or in our spiritual life, wherever. It applies in every field, whether in spiritual life or in professional life or in family life, We have those people everywhere who try to criticize us, find that fault in us, pull us down. So should we associate with them? Or associate with people who kind of inspire us and bring us up? So Rupa Goswami is giving this formula. Associate with those people, which makes us happy, which makes us grow. Obviously doesn't mean that we shouldn't, they shouldn't give us good feedback. We should also be ready to hear if there is some shortcoming, right? But at the same time, who are our well-wishers. That's the main criteria. So these are some of the success factors, and they are actually applied in the business field. Although Rupa Goswami is teaching here about the process of Bhakti Yoga, but the same principles apply everywhere, wherever you take it, whether it's a business circle or it is a family circle or a devotional circle, right? So you can apply this everywhere. So yes, in conclusion, we can say that we should enrich. So these principles, if we apply, these will actually enrich ourselves beyond our comprehension. If we remember these examples, and if we understand the need of the soul, what it is and how we can actually nourish our soul, just like we give food to our body, to our intellect, we have to give food for the soul, which is doing some spiritual practices. And treat tragedies as gifts that empower ourselves. We may get problems, yes, but we should be very brave, strong enough to face them and learn from them and grow from them. Just like that butterfly, that baby of the giraffe, Srila Prabhupada, we can learn. And we should also be able to make difference to others' life with that. You know, very nice story of Sindhu Tai is there. Does anyone know Sindhu Tai? Have you heard a story? It's an amazing story. You know, the way she was... How much time we have right now?
2 minutes.
2 minutes? Do you want me to tell the story in 2 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. 2 minutes I will tell the story. So basically, this was a lady from Maharashtra. He belonged to a village. And in that village, there was a mafia. And this mafia, he was paying very less money to the poor people. You know, he was getting work done like building house or laborer stuff. He was giving very less money. And this lady, Sindhu Tai, she revolted and she complained in the police. And he got very angry. And he went to his husband, her husband, he went, and he said, "The child in your wife's womb is mine. You should kill your wife, otherwise I will kill you." So this Gunda told like that. And the husband was very angry. And he started beating his wife, and with the kicks, he kicked her in the womb. And she was lying down in pain. He kicked her out of her house. And she was lying in the cow shed. And one of the cows was very nice. She was lying down under one of the cows. And one of the cows was very nice. She was protecting her from other cows also. And she was crying in labor pain. And finally she delivered the baby under the cow. And do you know how did she cut the umbilical cord? With a stone. He started beating the umbilical cord with a stone. And that baby girl actually is still there. She became a doctor now. So as soon as she delivered the baby, this Sindhu Tai thought, what will I do with this baby now? Where will I go? Because, you know, if you don't have a husband, people try to exploit you. So she ran to a Shamshan Ghat, graveyard. She started living there. And whatever people will put in the Shamshan Ghat, these wheat grains, right? As an offering, she will make rice or, you know, atta. She will make chapati on the fire of these graves of the people. And she will eat it. And one day she decided, I'm going to commit suicide. I cannot live like this for long. She went to a railway track and she was waiting for the train to come. And while she was waiting on the railway track along with her little baby, she heard some sound of an old man crying for help. She took it as Krishna's voice. She was a devotee of Krishna. She took it as Krishna's voice and she went to help him. And after helping that old man, she was sitting under a tree. And the branch of the tree was actually broken. It was about to break. It was just standing on one thread. And she was thinking that this branch is just like me. It doesn't have anything, but still it is giving shade to me. Similarly, although I do not have anything in my life, I still have the potential to help others. I was able to help that old man. So she went and started begging, you know, and started singing. She had a nice voice. She started singing in the Mumbai local trains and in the streets. And you know, all the children who were orphans, she started taking care of them. So when people saw that she is doing such a great thing, people built her a small hut, and then more and more people built her a 1 room and 2 rooms, and slowly and steadily, looking at her sincerity, she had 1,500 orphan children with her. Can you believe it? And such a big place for them to stay. And not only, you know, she was taking care of them with food and living, she was also educating them. And a lot of children from that orphanage became doctors and lawyers and engineers, you know, and architects or whatever, real estate agents. So one day what happened, an old man came to her orphanage and he said, I want shelter here. When she saw him, she immediately recognized, who is he? Her husband. And she said that, I will not do what you have done to me. I'll give you shelter, but you will live here not as my husband, but as my son. And when someone would come to meet him, and she will introduce, she will say, among all my children, he is the eldest son, but he is very naughty. And that daughter, who was born under the cow, she later became as a doctor. And I think last year only Sindhu Tai left this world. She got a lot of awards, national, international awards, for her resilience, for her bravery, for her courage, what she had done. This is an example of influence without affluence. She didn't have any money, but she had that courage, she had that faith that yes, I have something that's special in me, which I can help others. So we should never be discouraged in our life. Whatever situation, worst situation is there, we should never be discouraged. We should think, there is something in me because I am this living soul. I am part and parcel of Shri Shri Radha Giridhari. Krishna is there. He will help me. So with that, I will just conclude that we should dare to dream. And when we have light, when we have hope, then we can give hope to others. And when we have happiness, we can overcome heartbreaks. And we should look for a positive opportunity to grow even in apparently very difficult and negative situations. Because life will kick us on the face. Life will always put in difficult situations. So we should never be discouraged. And we take shelter of Krishna by chanting the holy names every day. If we can spend some time in a spiritual activity, connecting ourselves truly who we are, then it will give us the strength to overcome these situations. You may ask, all this lecture is good, but when the difficult situation come, I cannot handle it. What should I do? So you have to prepare for that, right? Just like a house's foundation is built and the whole house, it takes some time to build a house. So similarly, we have to build the foundation of our life based on these spiritual practices, this spiritual knowledge. So it takes time. So every day we can spend 10 minutes chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra on our beads, reading the teachings of Bhagavad Gita of Shri Krishna. Then it will give us that strength, that foundation to fight all these storms and tornadoes and floods of our life and sail across them and be happy in this life and also in the next and reach the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Giridhari in Golok Dham. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Any comments, questions? Anyone else? Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for patiently hearing. You have converted this difficulty into opportunity of hearing me. So, any comments or questions? No? Okay. So now we will move to Prasadam. And then 8:15 we will have darshan. Prasadam is outside. So Maharishi Prabhu said, Prasadam is outside. So please take Prasadam to your full satisfaction. And then we will have Aarti at 8:15. Hare Krishna.